Hello everybody and welcome to the final week of the 2016 NFL season, regular season. I'm your host, Jam 112. Call me Cody, call me whatever. Here we go, we're into the final week. A lot has come down for a lot of teams, seeding, positioning. Some people still have a chance to make it in, depending on their games this week. So it's going to be a very exciting week and we'll see how everything goes. Let's go into the game, shall we? Last week I don't want to say dismal, but it was a pretty bad 8-8 week. Some teams just decided they wanted to win this week. Get a win as much as you can. Spoil a team's playoff hopes if you can as well. But no. Wins are wins, losses are losses. Cleveland decides to win their first game. Good job, Cleveland. San Fran decides to win. Jacksonville decides to win. Players decide to get broken. No one decides that. We just hope for the best. Because both Mariota and Carr were some of my favorite players in the NFL. So it's very unfortunate to hear them have their injuries. And for the playoff hopes of the team, especially for Oakland, after that long drought of not making the playoffs, you finally make it. And then your quarterback gets injured. It just sucks. It really does. You gotta feel bad for the team. But we'll see what Matt McGloin does. Matt Moore for Miami has been doing extremely well, surprisingly, compared to what Ryan Tannehill's brought for the team. As a Ravens fan, I gotta tell you, it irritates me that the Dolphins got in and the Ravens didn't. Because the Ravens beat the Dolphins. Not just beat them, we destroyed, made fools of them. Somehow they get in, and we don't. I do kind of blame the Ravens though for a little bit because there were some games that we lost that we should have won. Legitimately. Back in those early week 5 through 7. I can argue we should have won all 3 of those games. But nonetheless, those happened, and you can't do much about it. But yeah, so that was my total, 143, 95, and 2. I would like to stay under 100, but at the rate I'm going, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that for the regular season. Let's move on to the games. Starting off with the most interesting game. 9 out of 10 times in Week 17, the most interesting game is usually the one that gets flexed on the Sunday night, and I ended up going with that anyway. Green Bay at Detroit. NFC North Division title on the line, again for the second year in a row, because last year was Minnesota at Green Bay, I think. I don't know. NFC North likes to wait until the final seconds of the week, and so happens that the two teams competing for it are usually the ones playing each other. Green Bay is always competing for it, but yeah, for whatever reason, either holds on to it or can't. Maybe Green Bay's on a downfall. Aaron Rodgers doing his old Aaron Rodgers things. Everyone, shut up. Just let me do my magic. I have mixed feelings for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, but when a man says shut up and let him do his work, the man will produce. And that's the guy I really give a lot of respect to Aaron Rodgers. So, that's that. Home team is usually favored, but this game could legitimately go either way. If Matthew Stafford had another comeback in him, or just a win in general, lock up the division. If Atlanta and Seattle lose their games this week, which I doubt they will, then Detroit will get the 2 seed. So we'll see what happens. Green Bay wins, they're pretty much a lock for either the 3rd or the 4th seed. Either or. Depends on how, again, the Atlanta and Seattle games go. But there's that. On the most close scoring game, I take you on a trip back to week 1. When this game was practically unlocked for a team. And the other decided, hold up, we're better than you. And may their records speak for it, but these games are games that you throw records at the room. Because no record means anything when it comes to rivalry games. And one of these games, it usually comes down to the wire. Now, I like to look back, 2014, when San Diego was pretty much a lock to win this game. And had they won it, they would have locked up the 6th seed. at the time, and my Ravens would have been out. But thanks to KC, I think they were starting a third-string quarterback. I could be wrong. But they won this game and sent my Ravens to the playoffs. So it's these games that I thank KC for. But also, last year they beat us 34-14, which made me kind of angry at them. More or less, I have mixed emotions, and I was also rooting for the Jets to get the 6th seed in the wild card spot. Pittsburgh gets the 5th last year, but, KC, what you gonna do? But yeah, this is gonna be a good game. It's at San Diego. San Diego, I don't know what they're going through, giving Cleveland their first win. I don't know what the emotions are. Maybe they want to win this game. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Look for it to be close, look for it to be interesting. And the biggest blowout, well, when it's a divisional game, the home team is typically better than the away team. And look for a blowout. Cleveland went to Pittsburgh. Cleveland all holly and jolly. Yay, we gotta win. Go, us. Now we gotta head to Pittsburgh, where it doesn't even matter what happens. Pittsburgh's the 3rd seed regardless. I think they're benching people. I could be wrong. But either way, Pittsburgh is just a naturally better team than Cleveland. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, Cleveland. But that's just how it is. Here are your Week 17 predictions. I have the Ravens sweeping the Bengals. And only we won the Pittsburgh game. It gets to me. But oh well. Steelers over Browns. I was, at the beginning of this year, I probably would have taken the Dolphins over the Pats. Because the Dolphins usually win this game. And I'm pretty sure they are going to win this game. Because the Dolphins do weird things and win weird games. But nonetheless, the Pats are going to be playing for that 1 seed. They're going to actually try a little bit. Put on the try-hard pants and button up their helmets and whatnot. Whatever. Bills going. I'm going to take the Bills over the Jets, even though I believe they might probably bench Tyrod. The Jets are bad. They just showed us last week they're bad. At least the Bills put up points on their rematch against the Pats. The Jets didn't do that at all. Titans over Titans. I really wanted to take the Titans. But due to Mariota's injury and now the division's kind of locked up, who knows if Houston might bench their starters. I don't know. But they're the 4th seed. They have the Titans. This will be the 3rd game since Mariota has entered the NFL that he does not play the Texans. He was injured both games against the Texans last year. And now he's injured again against the Texans. Colts over Jags. The Jags could win this game. I wouldn't be surprised. Cowboys over Eagles. Bucks over Panthers. Vikings, Bears. Falcons over Saints. Giants over the Redskins. I forgot an S. Oh, well, whatever. Seattle over 49ers. People are saying that the Niners might win this game. I doubt that. I really doubt that. Cardinals over Rams. Cardinals get a revenge. Chiefs over Chargers. Raiders over Broncos. Yes, Matt McGloin. I know. But I still think, with how incompetent the Denver offense is, and their defense has not been producing either, that the Raiders will find a way to get a win here. And it's hard to go against Aaron Rodgers at this point. He's just blown everyone away. So, it's hard to go against him. So there's that. I'm hoping to get at most, at the very least, 11 of these right, because I really don't want to go 100. I lost count the regular season, but we'll just see. And of course, the Super Bowl 51 prediction, again, still has not changed. Dallas proved that they can even beat decenter teams at home. They just beat a Lions team that everyone really liked. A lot of people were even thinking the Lions might win this game. And then the Pats just doing what they do, blowing out crappy teams. No surprise. It's hard to think that someone will beat Dallas or New England, but with New England, it's almost inevitable that they'll come out of the AFC. With Dallas, it's hard to tell because all these NFC teams, they legitimately could lose to any of them. I mean, they just proved they beat Detroit. They've beaten Washington both times, if Washington gets in somehow. They went into Lambeau and beat Green Bay, but Aaron Rodgers was a different person back then. Seattle and Atlanta could be interesting. And if they have to face the Giants again, can they beat them? We'll see. We'll see. And here's our league. Our championship round ended. I beat Nathan with a nice 122-106 score to give me the gold trophy. Some people may say it's no surprise, but I'll let you know, our draft, I got the last pick. We did like a snake draft, but I still got the last pick. So, they took arguably the best 7 players here. I mean, I think my first round pick outperformed all their first round picks, if we're honest here. But, nonetheless, my second round pick didn't do crap, and I kind of blame the quarterback situation in there, but you can't argue with some of these. And if you guys want to know my draft, I can post it later, only if you want. But yeah, Nathan made him, so he gets second, and Jared beat out Sean for third. Sean got fourth, Mike gets fifth, James sixth, Chris seventh, and Keith, our last place individual. He will get the metaphorical sack, or what they want to call the tic-tac. I don't know why they're calling it that, but that's what they want to call it. And I'm not going to argue with them. But as the league champion, I do feel the need to give an MVP shout-out. And how there's been one player, my first round pick, who has been dominant, I feel like I also have to give a shout-out to another individual player, a counterpart. The duo carried my team and probably scored at least a good majority of the points that won me most of my games. My MVPs for the 2016, the League 2 season, David Johnson and LeSean McCoy. Thank you both. You're both awesome players. It's great to watch your guys' games. And thank y'all for doing what you need to do. David Johnson has my MVP vote. If I'm honest, he has my MVP vote. So there's that. I'll take him over Brady, take him over Rodgers, take him over Dak and Zeke any day of the week. I want David Johnson on my team. And there's that. Yeah, I was also led by Dak was my quarterback since week 5 for the most part. I had Palmer and Fitzpatrick, but then they had their interception battles and whatnot. So I grabbed Dak. I also had a very mixed up wide receiver core. DeAndre Hopkins was my second pick. He was off and on. Brandon Marshall was there. He was off and on. I had Mike Evans, so he had a hot streak, which was nice to run through. I acquired Amari Cooper in a trade. He didn't really do much for the last couple of weeks. And then LeGarrette Blount was also there for some of the fun. And then I also acquired Delaney Walker in a trade. So that was my team for the most part. But that's that, and I'd like to thank them for everything. Thank these two, and you are definitely going to be my first couple of picks in next year's draft. And of course, my newer thing, the playoff standing predictions, if I'm right. This is the playoff picture now. As you can see, there's no one on the AFC side for 7 and 8 because the 6 playoff spots have been locked in for the teams. Now it's all placed on seeding. NFC, there are 2 teams. Washington, all they got to do is win their game and they're in. And Tampa, they need a miracle of things to happen for them to get in. So, with that, Tampa Bay is practically out. Now, based on my predictions, as shown from who I think is going to win, this would be the playoff picture. Both Detroit and Green Bay get in. And the wild cards would be Miami at Pittsburgh, Kansas City at Houston, Detroit at Seattle, and New York at Green Bay. And New York has tended to beat Green Bay in the past, so don't laugh when Green Bay just boast, oh, we're going to win this game easily. But that is that. And that is all I have for today. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy your Week 17. Hope your team made the playoffs, and I'll see you for the wild card weekend. Good night.